So when we were talking about repetition and patterns, I'm going to turn it over to Anna. Anna was sharing some things with me.
So we were talking about using repetition and patterns to help yourself go to sleep, but
Hmm.
it cued into me for me, and this helps because I just had one, to
Hmm.
night terrors that tend to have repetitious patterns to them. So, as an example, for me, the night terrors are always I'm trying to get away from something, and my avenue of escape gets smaller and smaller and smaller, or harder to climb, or something.
Hmm.
Um, one of the examples is I'm running from the monster, whatever it is, and I run through a door, but it's too heavy to pull closed. I run to the next door, and there's something in front of it that I have to climb over or under. I run to the next door, and it's one of those half doors, and only one half is open, and it's always
Hmm.
the most inconvenient half.
Ah.
And then there's a window that I have to try and squish through. Um, and so anyway, the one I had last night was the boat was sinking,
Uh-huh.
and so I kept trying to find ways to get free. So I went to go and get the inflatable emergency raft, but we were stuck on the shoals, which were really sharp rocks. So I knew I couldn't take that because it would just pop and then I'd be in the middle of the ocean. And
Mm.
so then I found a submarine, but the submarine was also filling with water. And in the dream, everything's filling and filling, and I keep trying to find a way around it
Ah.
or,
Yeah.
or out of the situation. And it's again, it's a repetitious pattern, and it's in this case, the water was rising up, so it was an upward spiral, not a
Hmm.
downward spiral.
Hmm.
Um, and so,
And that increased your terror.
right,
Yeah.
and so it feels like in a nightmare, it's the antithesis of
Hmm.
what we're trying to do when we're trying to put ourselves to sleep.
Hmm. Scarier and scarier and scarier.
Right.
Yeah. And so lucid dreaming is when you can actually change something in your dream as you're dreaming it.
Yep. Which
Some
I have
people do,
done.
yeah, some people do that kind of naturally. It's definitely something you can train yourself to do.
Yep.
And even if you can't train yourself to do it, my suggestion for you, Anna, would be to use, since those are patterns you already have,
Mm-hmm.
to use those same patterns, but in a more helpful or positive way as your nighttime visualization. Like have the windows, if the windows are getting smaller and smaller, either you shrink along with the windows or make the windows bigger and bigger so that it's easier and easier and easier, or but to take control of that in a way that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with the drowning, the water is rising and rising, then you can put floaties on your arms and keep putting them further and further out, or create anything again that's boring, repetitious, and kind of away from you, but has that same theme that's causing you problems
Mm.
in repetitive nightmares, and then
Yeah.
you fix it in a way that kind of goes, haha, I'm in control, not you. I'm gonna find that solution. So out of curiosity, as a writer, how would you write yourself out of someone drowning, and how would you write yourself out of someone, the windows getting either smaller or more obstacles?
I don't know. I'd have to think on this one a while because by the end
Hmm.
of my dream, I reached a point where somehow I started out on the deck, but somehow I ended up inside the boat, which was filling with water, and then I was
Hmm.
locked in, and then I was sort of in this little mini sub, but only like halfway in, like you'd be in a kayak or something.
Uh-huh.
And there wasn't an avenue of escape. I guess we could take it paranormal and the mermaids could come and find me.
100%, or become a mermaid
Become
and
a
through
mermaid.
its drowning.
Find out secretly I was a mermaid all along.
Hmm.
I never knew because I never went swimming.
Yeah. And again, the windows, again, you can have the windows, you can have the windows stay the same shape, but you get further and further away.
Yeah.
You can have window blinds that get darker and darker and darker that you're able to pull
Go a little Alice in
closed.
Wonderland on it.
100, yeah. And again, and for the drowning, that's a hard one, because I I can't find a positive way other than turning into a mermaid to like have going underwater feel safe and secure and less anxious.
Especially on a stormy sea, because it was very
Uh-huh.
stormy. I mean, maybe one of the shoals we were caught on, the reef that we were caught on, breaks a hole in the side and I'm able to swim out.
How about turning to ice? Can it get colder and colder and colder and then you can walk across the water?
No, because then you've got hypothermia and then I die.
You're too practical.
Or Titanic, just terrible, horrible real life example, just freeze to death in the water. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about stepping stones, even though it doesn't make practical sense, or dolphins that create a chain for you to walk across? I mean, there's
Mm-hmm.
some creative ways.
Maybe the
Whales,
shoals
if
are
not
close
dolphins.
enough to a little peninsula, and I can hopscotch my way across the reef to the actual
Mm-hmm.
beach.
Yeah. But yeah, my kind of point was if you already have a pattern,
Yeah.
use it, put your own little twist on it. All right. Thanks, Anna, for continuing on with me. I just thought
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was so interesting.
For more resources, shop at www.upandupwellness.com and hit that subscribe button. If you are in crisis and struggling right now, the national hotline is 988 and they can help you any time of the day or night.